All right, guys, so a lot happened this week. We're going to jump right into this recap. We started off with Anna and Katrina. You know, up until this point, you've never seen the sisters really fight with each other. You've always seen them fight with other people in the house. You've seen nothing but love between the two. But in this week, you know, Anna and Katrina get right into it, right in the beginning of the episode. Anna does not want to wait for Katrina to finish doing her hair and getting ready to go to brunch. I guess Anna's a little hangry, so she heads off to Stout without her. She calls production and says she's leaving Katrina behind. You know, Katrina starts talking to Kim, telling her about their past fights between the two sisters. You know, Anna's left her on the side of the road. Anna's left Katrina in an airport for like 48 hours. Whole bunch of stuff that you don't do to family. In my opinion, I don't really know if they have bad blood between each other. I think they're kind of playing it up a little bit and, you know, trying to make good TV. They end up going to counseling and they're in couples therapy now, so maybe they'll be able to fix their problems. All right, so enough about the Twisted Sisters. Let's jump on to the next topic. Jen's throwing a surprise birthday party for Peter. Peter's turning 25, so we're going to have a little bit of a surprise costume party. So I'm out there shopping for my costume, trying on different onesies, all different animals. I tried on a panda, tried on a monkey. I think I tried on something else. I can't remember. But I ended up picking the monkey onesie. I think it fit me the best. I had a blast wearing that. I was running around the streets of Seattle like a monkey with a banana in my mouth. So I had a lot of fun with that. The whole house came together to make Pete's birthday party you know, successful, make it a big surprise. I was a little bit of a diversion. I took Pete out to Poquitos for some birthday shots. Poquitos was one of the best restaurants that we went to out in Seattle, and that night particularly, we were drinking jalapeno infused tequila. Honestly, it was the best shot I think I've ever had in my whole entire life. You know, they even made margaritas with it, and you know, I like spicy food, so if you're ever out in the Seattle area, make sure to check out Poquitos. Make sure to get some jalapeno-infused tequila. They make it in the restaurant. It's straight banging. After Peter's birthday party, Pete and Jen are sitting in the confessional talking, and Pete pops a question. And I'm not talking about the question about the ring, but the question if, you know, they're official. So Jen and Peter finally made it official. I didn't really know that they weren't official until this point, but I guess you gotta ask. I feel like I'm a bad TMZ reporter. This is Harvey Levin. Welcome back to another episode of TMZ. All right, guys, while out in Seattle, we got to go to some of the most amazing spots, and my favorite spot to go to was Tia Lou's. Tia Lou's actually put together this boat party for Seafair. If you don't know what Seafair is when all these boats go out onto the water, come together, and the Blue Angels fly over the top and have an air show. It was absolutely incredible. It was insane. You know, I went out there, I got to DJ a little bit, I emceed a little bit, I even bartended. I popped like $3,500 worth of champagne. The day was ridiculous. You know, I had a lot of fun, but some of my roommates didn't. One of my roommates that didn't have fun was Lana. Lana got really upset at Cass for Cass started dancing with another girl, you know, a little provocatively, and you know, Lana thought that they were developing feelings for each other. You know, Lana's been there week after week for Cass, and you know, Cass, I guess, was throwing vibes her way to make her think that, you know, he was feeling the same way. You know, in my opinion, I think Cass had feelings for Lana, and, you know, he just didn't want to act on them. You know, he wanted to try to, you know, live up the experience and go out and meet other girls and do other things. I'm sure that there's going to be a guy that comes along the way and swoops Lana up. She's a great girl, so I hope nothing but the best for her. Lana wasn't the only one not having fun on that boat. Peter and Jen ended up getting into a fight. Peter was really upset on the way that Jen was dressed and how Jen was dancing. I really don't fault Peter for getting upset. Honestly, if my girlfriend did that, she won't be my girlfriend for much longer. It's a new relationship. They gotta set bounds. They gotta learn stuff about each other. You guys are at home watching this week after week, and it gives the illusion that a lot of time has passed, and sometimes it's only been a day or two between these different things that we've done and these different places that we've gone out. So it makes it look like that there's all this time in between it, and it's just really been a short amount of time. My opinion, they're moving way too quick. You can't jump into a serious relationship like that overnight. I don't know if I could really say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I don't think this is the only fight that you guys are going to see between Jen and Pete this season. All right, so you guys have been asking, and here she is, Kim J. You finally start to see more of Kim this week. You know, in this week's episode, Kim and T sit down and talk about their past and, you know, try to squash what really went down in high school. You know, T pretty much says that Kim started a rumor about her, and Kim tries to own up to it and says, listen, I really didn't think it was going to be that big of a problem. she apologized, and it's time to move on from it. You know, high school is high school, and we've all gone through some rough times in high school. So, you know, you just got to get over it. It makes you a stronger person. You know, I spent a lot of time with Kim in the house. She's a great person. I really don't think she meant it in any way, shape, or form, in a bad way towards T. I think it was just a little foul up, you know. We all make mistakes when we're young. We're young and dumb. Yo, it's cracking so hard right now. I'm sweating, bro. I'm not even lying. Like, the heat's radiating off the back. Just trying to get warm. You got marshmallows? For the past 5 weeks, we've talked about some serious topics, and, you know, this week is no exception. T wakes up one morning, she's not feeling very well, so she decides to take a pregnancy test, and it comes back positive. She heads over to urgent care, and she finds out that she's 7 weeks pregnant, and she says it has to be the guy that she was hooking up with before she came out to Seattle, that it's not Theo's, that two of them never had sex when they were in the house. And, you know, that's where the episode ends this week. On next week's episode, you know, we're definitely going to go into more in depth on T's situation and what she's going to do. I really can't give any spoilers away or I'll get in trouble. But, you know, the producer, Matt, you know, swoops in and, you know, gives her a big hug and, you know, tries to calm her down. But I guess we just need to wait and see what happens. So before we end this video, you know I got to talk about the after show. You know I got to talk about the shit that they should have shown. And on this week's episode, you know, I give you a full tutorial on how to gel your hair. So I break all the steps down, you know, from washing your hair, from, you know, getting the hair blower and getting the comb and start, you know, shaping it. You know, you get the gel in there, you got to shake your head up. You know, you got to start forming it. Once you have your hair laying the perfect way, you got to make sure you spray it with that hairspray so you lock it down and it doesn't move. All right, so another thing that happened on the shit that they should have shown was Pete was talking a big game. Pete was telling us how he played college ball, but, you know, he played college baseball and all, but he couldn't even knock the blocks off of a carnival game. Then he goes on to say he's even more athletic than everyone in the house. So for Pete's birthday, we went to go climb these big 220-foot trees. You know, these big Douglas firs. These trees were monsters. And the only thing that you had on was a rappelling harness and a big rope that went up and over the tree. So, you know, I go 100 feet up in the air. I look down, and Pete's not even 10 feet off the ground. So I ended up hanging there for a second. While I'm waiting for Pete, Pete gives up. He goes back down the tree. He unbuckles his harness. I go another 120 feet in the air, and I see the most epic view I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I get to see all of Seattle. I got to see the whole forest. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever be able to recreate that moment. And it might have been the most epic thing that I did while I was out in Seattle. All right, guys, so here's a little sneak peek into next week's episode. On next week's episode, you see Jen and Peter, Anna and Katrina, couple versus couple. Who's going to win? I guess you're going to just have to stay tuned and see what happens next week. I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a comment below. I'll make sure to answer. And also, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I'll see you soon. I'm going to go get warm by the fire. I'll catch you guys all next week. Burning. It's a little hot over here.